We've all been there in the middle of a heated argument where, no matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to get our point across. It's frustrating, overwhelming, and sometimes even heartbreaking. In some cases, arguments can be dangerous if the attacker is purposefully trying to accuse you of something untrue, most likely in front of others, to change their perspective of you. In this video, we'll discuss ways to face these situations, save your reputation, and bring the truth to light. These tricks will be beneficial for you in your daily life, career, or relationships. Let's dive in. Trick number 1. Stay calm and composed. Most of the time in arguments, people will purposely say something that will bait our emotions to go wild. This behavior makes you easily offended, meaning you are not in control of yourself and will make mistakes, say something wrong, and lose the argument. Staying calm and composed is essential to making your point clear and effective. Take deep breaths and try to stay level-headed. For example, you could say, "I understand that we have different perspectives, but let's discuss this calmly and respectfully." This statement makes your opponent into your partner, and you can discuss instead of argue. Trick number 2. Listen carefully. Nothing is worse in an argument than not listening and interrupting. Not only will it not solve the issue, but it will also make you appear negative and hostile in the eyes of others. Tease only those who are wrong, lack knowledge of the matter they are arguing, and are unreasonable that won't listen to the other person's perspective. Pay attention to what they're saying without interrupting them. Try to listen actively by asking questions to clarify their points. If you meet people who won't listen to your perspective in an argument, you should point it out.
I'm not saying that's going to prevent all rape. I'm not saying that rape is okay. Rapists should be executed. I'm not saying that every single woman who was ever assaulted could have prevented it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying the smartest thing a woman can do is say, "This is dangerous."
With respect. We won't get anywhere if you always interrupt me whenever I try to say something. They will most likely still not listen, but for the audience, it will make them root for you because nobody likes people who never listen and always interrupt.
No! No!
Trick number 3. Validate their perspective. Even if you disagree with the other person's opinion, show that you understand where they're coming from. This approach can help build a foundation for a constructive conversation.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
For example, you could say, "I can see how you might feel that way, but let me explain my point of view." Remember that we aim for a healthy discussion and a constructive conversation, instead of winning a fight of who is better or right, an ego trip. Trick number 4. Use evidence.
What's this, you
Using facts, data, and logical arguments can help support your point of view. Make sure you have evidence to back up your claims.
What?
For example, you could say, "According to this study, my position is supported by the evidence." Trick number 5. Stay on topic. Avoid bringing up unrelated issues. Stick to the issue at hand to keep the conversation focused and productive. For example, you could say, "Let's focus on this specific issue for now, and we can discuss other topics after this one." People who want to make us wrong or ruin our image solely want to win the argument. Hence, they will put whatever is necessary for them to be right. Make sure to stay on topic and resolve one issue at a time.
Okay.
Fun fact, have you ever felt overwhelmed, just as if you have a lot of problems? This is because our brains are thinking about multiple things simultaneously. If we write them down, we will notice that our actual problem is perhaps not more than 3. Hence, stay focused on one issue at a time.
Are you stupid or something?
Trick number 6. Avoid personal attacks. Attacking the other person personally is never productive. Stick to discussing the issues and avoid making it personal.
You don't scare me!
If they are attacking you personally with their argument, you can respond with a light joke and a smile or even a laugh to lighten the situation, and show them that it doesn't affect your emotions at all. If they still attack you personally, then you can give them a warning. For example, you could say, "Let's focus on the argument rather than attacking each other personally." If they still disrespect and attack you personally, you are free to leave the argument while maintaining your calm. and not being affected by the situation.
You think you're free of all of that? Or whether that's still
I'm
something
sorry,
you...
I really don't. What are we doing?
well, I'm just asking questions, that's all.
Right. Bye.
I'm sorry.
Some people are simply unreasonable, and by arguing with them, it will only waste our time and lower our value. Trick number 7. Use I statements. Using I statements instead of you statements can help avoid making the other person feel defensive. For example, I believe instead of you're wrong. This approach can help keep the conversation focused on the issue rather than the other person. Ultimately, the best way to defend yourself from an attack in an argument is to be respectful, assertive, and open-minded. If you can do these things, you will be well on your way to resolving the conflict in a positive way and, most importantly, prevent the other person from purposely trapping you into saying things that will contradict and hurt yourself, and in some cases, put yourself in danger or ruin your image. Trick number 8. Stay respectful. Use a respectful tone and avoid being sarcastic or condescending. Show that you value the other person's opinion, even if you disagree with it. For example, you could say, I respect your opinion. However, I believe, because, with just this sentence, you will most probably change a heated argument into a healthy, constructive conversation. Remember that to be respected, we must first respect ourselves and others.
About an American hero.
If we do not respect ourselves, it is simply impossible to respect others, which will lead to others disrespecting you. Trick number 9. Take a break if needed. If the argument becomes too heated or stressful, take a break to cool off. Come back to the conversation when you're feeling calmer. For example, you could say, let's take a break and come back to this conversation later when we're both feeling calmer. This is assuming that you can leave the situation. However, if you can't have time to take a break, such as in an interview, podcast, or where it involves an audience, you could simply take a break from that particular topic to another topic or by using a light joke. A light laugh is usually enough to calm down a heated argument and calm everybody around, including yourself. Laughter is the best medicine, remember. Trick number 10. Look for common ground. Try to find areas of agreement or common ground to build upon, even if you ultimately disagree on some points. This can help lead to a more productive conversation. For example, you could say, while we may disagree on this issue, we both want what's best for the company.
I don't mean that you're wrong.
So, let's focus on finding a solution that works for everyone. Our minds and ego are wired for survival. Hence, we always see those that are different from ourselves as potential dangers and life-threatening for the ego. By finding some common ground and similarity, it will trick them to have less guard towards us and see us as a team, instead of a potential danger. Remember to maintain 100% alertness, especially in an argument, so as not to fall into their trap of questions or statements, and not to let our emotions get the best of us. We should usually avoid arguments by focusing on resolving the matter, instead of trying to make the other person look bad. However, if the other person is purposely attacking you, do not hesitate to warn them before they go too far.
Do you...
Okay, it's just getting a little dinosaur in your...
No, look, I don't want to do that.
And if you think this is beneficial, you will find this one even more beneficial.